One of the biggest mistakes that I used to make as a student, and that I still see a lot of beginner and intermediate students make, is that when they run into an error in their playing, they tend to go back to the very beginning of their line or their page, or maybe even an entire piece, in hopes of not making the error again when they run into the same spot the second time. So let's say I'm playing this phrase. This is from the Milonga by Jorge Cardoso. And I make a mistake. The traditional approach, or I guess the approach that a lot of students make, is to go back to the top, right? But a much more effective approach is to isolate the area in the music where the error occurred, and you want to make that isolation section, or the challenge spot I like to call it, as small as possible. So include 1 or 2 notes before the error, where the error occurred, the error spot or challenge spot, and ideally 1 or 2 notes afterwards. So I want to show you what that looks like. In this phrase, again, I'm not going to go all the way back to the top because I can play that perfectly well. I'm going to go right to this spot. It's the landing of my G, but I want to start 1 or 2 notes before. Right? So I might go from here, and now I want to figure out what my initial cause was. Right? If I did that, there could be 2 causes. One, it's very clear that I'm not pressing enough here, right? Another possible cause is that my elbow is too far out, which is bringing my pinky back. So let's start from here. I'm going to try to bring my elbow in and press a little bit more. I'm going to go back. Notice I'm going very slowly to make sure that my correction is solid, right? Once it is, I'm going to start increasing tempo, but I'm still in isolation. Now that I've completed a lot of totally correct repetitions and I've varied my tempo a little bit, I can put the same phrase or the same challenge spot in the larger context of the whole phrase to see how it's working. And of course, I want to do that ideally at my goal tempo. It's working pretty well, and I might repeat that a few more times just to really validate that correction in the larger context of the phrase.